And now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. This portion of the show is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Rancho Leonero, where your wildest Baja dreams come true. Maui Jim Sunglasses, the choice of the best captains. Shimano Rods and Reels, fish with the best. Shimano. And by Yamaha Outboards, official motor sponsor of Let's Talk Hookup. Here we go. Another great hour of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup. Here's Pete Gray and Rock Cod Rick Maxa.
Welcome back. Hour number 2. Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Pete Gray here with Rock Cod Rick Maxa in the Mighty 1090 studios. We're talking with the Southwest Council International Federation of Fly Fishing, the president right here, Michael Schweit, and Annalisa, who runs the women's program, director for the Southwest Council, having a great time talking fishing.
Talking fly fishing is always fun. We don't do enough of it and always enjoy it every time we do, and there's always great fly questions. It's one of those things that gets avoided for people because they're afraid of trying it, but there's nothing to it, man. Just there's nothing to it but to go do it, and it's a lot of fun and a cool spin on something that you've probably done a whole long time. If you're into surf fishing or into conventional fishing, calico bass, there's no reason not to pick up a fly rod and give it a shot.
And there's a lot of interest in fly rod. I think there's a lot of people sitting in the sidelines kind of going, I should try this. Like we were talking in the break about catching white sea bass on the fly. Yeah. And like Ricky's going, man, next time we get on a good squid bait, man, we got to try that.
Yeah, we should do that.
And we got to signal out Al Q, who was on the show last time representing the Federation. In one day, we don't know where. He wouldn't tell us.
He won't tell us. Smart man.
The secret spot.
Yeah, he got the IGFA world record on 20-pound tippet on calico bass, which was how big?
I think the calico bass was like 9.5 pounds, and I think that was on 12-pound test.
Well, that was 12-pound test.
And then
9.5 pounds on a calico.
On the fly.
On the fly.
Yeah.
Calicos love the fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then a sea bass.
Then like an hour later, he got a 36-pound white sea bass on 20-pound tippet.
Great. Wow.
How
in
cool
the same day.
Same day.
In Al's secret spot.
Yeah. In his secret spot that he doesn't tell us
about. So it can be done.
Yeah. And Al, Al's one of those that you put in the time. He goes fishing. He does go fishing a lot.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that we always look at in fly fishing is that everybody's like, oh, it's a trout thing. Well, yeah, it is a trout thing. But if I want to go fishing, I don't want to drive 5 hours to go fishing. I want to be able to fish whenever I want to fish. And here in Southern California, we've got this big pond called the Pacific Ocean. And it's loaded with fish that'll eat flies. Rick was asking me before on the break about, what are some of the holy grails in fly fishing? But even beyond that, when bonita are around, that's the time that if you've got a boat, that you go out there. And because, bonita, they'll eat just about anything. Well, they'll eat a fly in a second.
Yeah. And then also, too, like this local tuna fishing, when they would turn on, man.
Oh, yeah.
Nice,
crazy
size for that.
Right.
Yeah. Very nice. And fly fishing, like we talked about, it's become very affordable.
Yeah.
You don't need to spend $1,000 on
Not
an
at all.
outfit. Yeah. You can get a nice outfit for what it would be for a decent conventional outfit and be ready to go and catching fish.
Yes, with everything.
Yeah,
cool.
For sure.
Well, as you can hear this hour, we just got a lot to talk about, lots of fun, lots of info, and a lot of your phone calls. If you want to join us this morning, it has definitely been a busy morning on the phones. This is a great time to call right now. We have a local line. Actually, our local line is totally full, but we do have a toll-free line open. If you want to get through right now, toll-free, 877-792-1090. Again, 877-792-1090. It's open right now. Our local line is totally full right now, but there's going to be plenty of shots for you to get through in the second hour. That one's 858-457-1090. Again, 858-457-1090. Not only are we talking fly fishing, talking about the fair, all kinds of great stuff coming up today, we've also got a great prize for one of our lucky callers at the end of the show today, and that's an AFTCO Performance package that includes an AFTCO Performance shirt, an AFTCO Performance pair of board shorts, and that AFTCO face mask, including a 3-quarter-day trip to go fishing aboard the San Diego out of C4 Sport Fishing. What a prize pack indeed, getting to go fishing on one of the greatest boats at C4 Sport Fishing in the San Diego with Captain Ryan Bosch and getting all that good late-season fishing they have right now, and you're going to be fully decked out with some new AFTCO gear.
That AFTCO Performance short and shirt, they're unbelievable.
The best, man.
Yeah, the creator of all was at the event last night, and along with Bill Shedd, and I just went up to him and I said, man, your gear that you're creating with AFTCO now is just far beyond anybody else.
Jerry's the man.
It's just he came from the surf industry.
Yep.
He brought a lot of that newer technology from the surf industry to AFCO, and they've just gone beyond perfect stuff for fishing.
Jerry's a cool story. It was a guy that was pretty much retired from the surf industry, didn't really need to do it, but is a fishing nut and loves it, and just, I don't want to be retired. I want to do this for a little while longer, and then exactly as you said, brought all that cool material, info, all the stuff that was awesome in the surf, but, mixed it with his passion of fishing, and as everything that AFCO makes, it's just killer. It's so good. Yeah, Jerry's awesome.
It's absolutely the best. Hey, the Escondido Senior Anglers are going to be hosting another club meeting on October 14th. Barbara Gattuso, who's one of their own, is going to be talking fishing about traveling. She's a traveling saltwater fly fishing person, and she's going to talk about all her different travels there. So check it out. It's going to be on October 14th, and it's at the Park Avenue Community Center in Escondido. Doors open at 8:30 a.m., and the meeting starts at 9:30 a.m. So everybody's encouraged to come, and everybody's invited. Phones are jammed.
Yes, they are.
People want to talk fly fishing.
Every single phone line full, all wanting to know fly fishing questions. So let's jump right into it. We're going to start this second hour off with Bruce, calling us from Lemon Grove. What's up, Bruce? Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, Bruce.
Good morning, guys. Great show.
Thank you.
Hey, my question was on the line, so the guy, you already answered that up there, but what's your favorite fly to use for the ocean, let's say for calicos?
Good question.
Yeah.
Pretty much the fly that they're eating.
Which is?
It varies, I have to say it's no different than freshwater fishing. That, if caddisflies are hatching, you're going to use a caddisfly. If it's a mayfly. So if I'm out in the ocean and they're on squid, I'm going to use flies that look like squid. If they're on finbait, we're going to use flies that look like finbait. But the interesting thing to me is I've always watched the conventional side and with guys throwing plastics, and I look at some of the colors that fish eat, and then you're like, okay, why would they eat that? There's nothing in the water that even looks like that. And so we tie flies that sometimes look hideous and do really well. There's a style of fly called a deceiver that is a very traditional kind of pattern that looks like a bait fish, but you can tie them in any colors. And I tied them years ago in black and red because when we used to have a fish around here called an albacore, when you would go trolling for those things, black and red was a really good feather in the morning. And so I tied up flies like that. I've caught like 15 different species on this black and red deceiver fly. Yeah. And there's nothing in the water that looks like that. So it's more...
Clouser minnows, same kind of...
Clouser minnows. And a lot of guys, chartreuse over white is always the standard kind of colors, but it's funny because that's why we've got fly boxes with thousands of flies, because you guys have boxes full of the plastics. All of a sudden they eat a color. Why? I don't know.
Yeah. And here's the cool thing, too, about fly fishing for saltwater is that saltwater flies are way easier to tie than freshwater.
It's a lot easier to thread.
Yes. Yeah.
Instead of those 22s.
Yeah, and it's fun. No, and if you've ever tried to tie your own flies, you can do saltwater flies.
Yeah,
it's something, and you tie your own fly, you just kind of say, well, this kind of looks like what they're eating right now. Right. Tie it up and you catch it. What's more rewarding than that?
That's rad.
Like right there.
I love that.
It's easy to do.
Yeah, and if you're interested in the fly specifically, we have an event that's the last Saturday in January next year called Flyby. That'll be at Long Beach, the Long Beach Casting Club, which is down a recreation park in Long Beach.
Yeah, we talked about that last year.
Yeah, and we'll talk about it again this year. But that's a real good event if you want to see fly tying and being able to ask a lot of questions about that.
Yeah. So, are there going to be any fly tying events for trout up at the fair?
Yeah, there's a ton of fly tiers up there. We've got some really, really good fly tiers.
And that's where the real art comes in, is tying those trout flies.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
We have a lot of tables, and they're all lined up. Everybody's going to be tying different types of flies.
Man, what a fun event.
Right?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I see that you have accommodations. Is it the Comfort Inn is kind of the host hotel?
I always forget. I think
Quality Inn or something. Anyway, it's on the website.
It's on the website, yeah.
And rooms are like less than $150 a night for two people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really reasonable.
Yeah, no, the whole town of Bishop, I have to say, we were in Mammoth before, and unfortunately we outgrew Mammoth, but being in Bishop, Tawny Thompson, who we all know, the executive director, they've really rolled out for us. It's been really nice. And the fairgrounds are just an extraordinary place because we could just keep expanding and expanding on this thing. So,
and if you want to stay in Mammoth Lakes, 40 minutes away. 40 minutes,
run down the hill.
And it's not like 40 minutes in Los Angeles or San Diego.
Exactly.
It's a really pretty view.
One of the most spectacular views coming down into Bishop that you'll ever see.
And I always camp, so...
You camp?
Yeah.
Wow, how fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And there's a great campground there?
Yeah, I stay at the Pleasant
Valley.
Yeah.
And there's a river with trout in it running right through the campground.
I love it. I wake up and I could, hit up the river and go fly fishing for a couple hours before I go back to the
Sweet.
there.
So cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fun stuff. Well, let's go. Very good. Well, thanks a lot for the call this morning. Appreciate that, Bruce.
All right, let's jump back into them. This time, talk to Kenny, calling us from Hawaiian Gardens. Good morning, Kenny. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hi, Kenny.
Hey, morning, guys. This one's going to have something to do with Gundy. I don't do any fly fishing, but ever since I was a kid, we've been using flies off of splashers with spinning gear, catching bonita and stuff off these jetties and beaches and stuff. But what really comes back to memory is years ago I went on a backpacking trip up in the Sierras, and we were doing the same thing with little tiny cast of bubbles, half-pound leader, and California mosquito flies, little floating flies, dry flies. Do you guys see any kind of fishing going on up in there anymore?
There's pretty much fishing, anywhere like that. And the method you're talking about, I think, is always a good introduction because I actually started doing that same thing. I was not convinced about the saltwater fly fishing. So I would take my spinning gear and I'd put on, a sinker or a bubble or something and tie a fly on behind it. And then I started catching fish. I was like, okay, I can make this work with a fly rod. But you see a lot of guys do this in the backpacking, that they take a spin rod up there and they use the fly and bubble combination, and they do really well with
effective.
it. Yeah.
More effective, generally speaking, than conventional methods.
Yeah,
like
I have to say, yeah. Well, because you're throwing
Especially
something out there.
backcountry.
You're throwing something out there that they're used to eating.
They're eating,
Yeah.
They're not eating. You mean they're not eating power bait in the upper?
Yeah, I've never seen a hatch of super dupers.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning.
All right, how about next up we talk to Hills, who's calling us from Ventura. Good morning, Hills. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning, guys. Great show. Thank you. I heard your guest mention just having gotten back from fishing with Gary Bula, and I was interested to hear more about that trip. I met Gary many years ago, and he actually built me a saltwater fly rig, beautiful, and he brought me out and gave me a lesson, and I was casting like right away. But he's an interesting guy, and he goes, you got to come on a trip with me down there. You wouldn't believe it. We stay on an island. We have a chef. You go out and you catch everything. Is that how it was, or what was it like?
Well, this one, we're in a resort, so everything, we have a chef. I mean, everything is taken care of for you.
Nice. You
wake up, there's breakfast, and then, they pack you lunch, and the captains are amazing. They're all awesome, So, but he does have the backpack or the kayaking trip that does the tents, and you do a whole week. The chef travels with you, and you do the tent thing, and I think that's in June next year. So yeah, check with him. Look at his website. It's
down in La Paz area.
The one for the kayaking trip, I think it's closer down middle somewhere.
Okay. Like Loreto.
Loreto, close to there.
Okay.
But he does
fun.
both, and they're great trips.
Yeah.
Reminds me of the old Campo San Nicolas trip.
Oh, man, the camping on the Sea of Cortez
Nothing
there
like
in
it.
the spring.
And
Unbelievable.
And I think he does a trip in February or something early that he goes to Mag Bay.
Oh,
wow. And they camp out down there.
How cool.
And so they go into the estuaries and fish there, or they go and fish for halibut in the surf.
Sweet. Unbelievable.
Gary's really good.
Yeah.
That sounds
Gary
awesome.
Bula. Spell the last name.
Bulla. So GaryBulla.
Okay.
Yeah,
If you just Google
.com.
him, you'll probably have to find his
Yeah, he's got his own website. He's really good.
Yeah. Okay.
And he has a much shorter URL.
Yeah.
So does everybody on the internet.
Indeed. Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning, Hills. Good stuff there. It sounds like something you're going to want to do. Hey, I want to mention this week's edition of Western Outdoor News, of course, always loaded with information. You want to find out who our guests are and such like that. Check it out, this week's Western Outdoor News. And this week, they have that feature on how good San Vicente Reservoir was on the opener, like Ricky got to luckily experience.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
Yeah.
Incredible fishery.
Yeah, and I guess it still is.
It's still biting. Yeah,
Yeah.
A lot of fish out deep right now. Once guys get over it's one of those things that it looks so good. Every piece of shoreline looks so good that you just can't help but casting right where the brush meets where the water meets the shoreline. But once you get over that temptation and start turning around and casting the other direction and fishing deep, it's really, really good fishing.
Yeah, fun. So check it out. This week's edition of Western Outdoor News, loaded with both fresh and saltwater information. Indeed.
Hey, with that, we're going to find out what's going on the water. It's time for our FishDope.com report with the man, Captain Dave Hansen, your saltwater guide. Today, the Catch Report is sponsored part by Gamakatsu Hooks, Japan's leading fish hook that sets the standard for quality and innovation, strength and durability. And with this local tuna season going on still in full swing right now, you got to get those Gamakatsu Nautilus Circle hooks and make it your go-to hook. It has the strength and durability as well as the right design to make it easier for pinning on your bait. But more importantly, with the Nautilus Circle hook, you get a thin wire that's very strong, so you can get away with using a small hook, which has been the key to getting bites on live bait right now. Number 2 hooks, number 4 hooks, number 1s, small hooks like that. And with small hooks, you still need strength to deal with catching a tuna fish, and that's what that Gamakatsu Nautilus is going to provide for you. Get the Gamakatsu Nautilus hooks at your favorite tackle store. Let's talk to the man. Dave Hansen's on the line. What's up, Dave?
Good morning, you guys. Good morning.
Dave?
Hey, sorry about last week. We were just heavily involved in some of the most phenomenal marlin fishing that I've ever witnessed in my life down there on the ridge. So
that is
kind
so
of lost
cool.
track of time. Sorry about that.
Those are good problems to have. No problem.
It was unbelievable down there. We had 27 marlin for 2 guys on Sunday there. It was
on Sunday.
Jeez.
On Sunday. Yeah.
Arms must have been sore.
Yeah, they were kind of sore. My arms were sore from driving the boat. It was pretty hard to, sit there and watch them turn the handle all day. But, hey, guys, the local scene here has been pretty unbelievable. While I've been gone, I've been listening. Todd Manser's been giving me updates of what's going on there. It sounds like that yellowfin tuna is pretty much spread out from like 5 to 6 miles off the beach on out to the 209 and then down to the 181, the 182 triangle there, back in towards the 9. And it's pretty much, if you can find a little spot of fish, little puddlers or bird, a couple of terns, pick in, something like that, and you can carry enough bait, you can kind of turn that fish on. But it's real touchy fish also. You got to fish with the lighter line, 12 or 15 pound mono and a number 2 or a number 4 hook. Seems to be the key for most of these guys that are putting together good scores on their skiffs. It's the lighter line finesse type of fishing. It's not real big yellowfin. It's like that 12 to, say, 20-pound yellowfin. I know there's some of the bigger fish around, but it's mostly that smaller grade fish, 12 to 20-pound fish. And it's really touchy finesse type fishing. So don't get discouraged, guys. You go out there with the heavier line, you don't get bit. Try to drop down to the lighter line and pay attention. The whole key to that whole yellowfin thing is just paying attention. There might be just one fish just barely breaking the surface of the water. That could be a school of a couple hundred fish. You just really, really got to be on your game right now if you want to put together a score of that yellowfin that's biting. And it's really depends on if you're the lucky boat that pays attention and has enough bait when you find that fish to turn it on and make it bite. Then as we slide off to the islands there, Catalina, San Clemente Islands, still holding plenty of yellowtail if you can find the right conditions and you can get away from the California sea line and find a little area. You can put together a pretty good score at either one of those islands. There's yellowtail roaming around front, back, both ends. It doesn't seem to matter where. You just have to get lucky and find a little spot where there's not 15 sea lions that want to help you catch fish. And then back on the beach there, that rockfish fishing's good. And hey, guys, lobster season is open.
It is.
I'm going out tonight with some of my guys, so I don't know how good it's going to be because I haven't got to touch on it yet, but I heard that there's some pretty good spots over at Catalina that are crawling, a little bit in the harbor, Long Beach. I don't know what's going on down in your guys' neck of the woods yet because I just really got back into town last night. But it's lobster season, guys. So
the lobster are shaking in their shells right now. The mere thought of Dave Hansen going after them.
Yeah, they know it's about to be on.
Yeah, indeed. And so FishDope.com, I saw Jason last night.
Yeah, it was fun.
At the event, at CCA event, and we were talking about how great Fish Dope is and how much information you guys are able to provide Fish Dope, and Danny and the guys over there are staying on it. If you can save $20 right now, I can give you a code. Here it is. Hookup Now. Hookup Now saves you $20 on a new membership to FishDope.com so you can have non-stop access to all Dave Hansen's secret lobster spots. The only guy I know that gives it up.
Give it up.
Anyway, and he gives it up over at Catalina or even on the coast. And in the meantime, we want to go fishing with you, Dave. How do we do that?
Well, there's a couple different ways. I'll come with you guys on your boat, show you how to do whatever you guys want to do. I'm sponsored with Promar. Ben over there has been very, very gracious to make sure that we're up to date with some of the best stuff that Promar has to offer.
How you like those new XL nets, man? Those are awesome, huh?
So
I'm
sweet.
pretty excited to use them. I got 10 brand new ones. We're going to go throw them in the water tonight and see if the lobsters like them.
Sweet.
But basically what I do, guys, is I bring everything and I just come with you on your boat and show you how I do it. So if you guys are interested in something like that, you can give me a call at 949-374-0786, or you can come with me on my charter boat, and I'll do everything for you there also. So either way, just give me a call, and I'll be more than happy to help you whatever you need.
Fantastic, awesome. Dave. Appreciate the report, and we'll talk to you next week. Welcome home.
All right, guys. Thanks.
All right.
Check out Fish Dope tomorrow morning to see how the lobster fishing is.
Okay, we'll do that.
Thanks, Dave.
And all the secret spots, too. Thanks, Dave.
All right, well, let's jump back into the phones. This time we're going to talk to Brian, who's calling us from Poway this morning. Hey, Brian, welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, Rick and Pete. Like you guys, I love the saltwater fishing, but I'm going to be heading up to Crowley in 10 days to float tube around there for 3 days, and I had a question for your guest.
All right, go ahead, Brian.
I want to know, I'm going to be pulling my, woolly boogers and stuff with my 5-weight, but that last hour of dusk, I've got a 10-weight rod, and I was thinking of throwing out like a 6-inch rainbow pattern fly in hopes of a big brown. I just want to know if you guys think I'm on the right track. Do I want to kind of go a little bit deeper or work the shallows for those big browns?
Probably yes to and all of the above. They're hard to target up there. The browns are in certain areas. I mean, I always hear Crooked Creek is one area that they hang around in there. I've whacked a few of the big ones up there, and I've broken off quite a few big fish in that area. I'm not sure that you can actually really target them. I have to say, for one thing, I know you've got your own boat, but that's the thing that I really go after a guide at that point, to at least let them start cluing you into the area and what they're doing with that. They're happy to share that. Then you go out there and do that on your own.
But what about the big rainbow pattern fly?
Oh, I think that'd be fine. It's always one of those kind of things. My father used to, when he taught me to fish when I was like 10 years old, we'd get a barracuda on the boat at some point. My father would take it and whack it in half and put like a 12-aught hook in the thing, go up to the bow and fling it off with the ratchet on. And I'd say, what are you going to catch? He says, I don't know, but whatever it is going to be big.
Yeah.
So to me, that's what you have to do.
And Harold Davis from Davis Boats goes up to Crowley and whacks the browns using downriggers and Rapalas.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Deep water, Rapalas.
Last question. How's the algae bloom up there? Is it subsided a bit?
As soon as it cools down, it usually starts to drop off. That's when the weed beds start to pick up, and that's when things go good. And I was going to say, if you're going to be up there in 10 days, the fair opens in 12. If you can hang over for a little bit longer, Ernie Gully's doing a really good class on Crowley on chironomid fishing. And, we were joking about that whole thing with size 22 flies. I have to tell you, on those size 22 flies, we're picking up some seriously, seriously large fish.
Yes.
Because
rainbows and browns.
Yeah, rainbows and browns, because those fish have to eat. And if it's in front of their face, they're going to pick it up. And it doesn't, they'd always like a mouthful like a big trout, but if there's a chironomid and there's a little hatch going on, they're going to eat it. And it's amazing how many times you lift the rod with a 22 fly in the end of it and you go, I think I've hung the bottom. No, the bottom is moving.
It's moving.
And it's really large.
And it's ripping line.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's chironomid. And that would be perfect. You're just right down the hill there. And you get in free. You can pre-register, and then also when you get there, you just tell them you heard it on Let's Talk Hookup this morning, and they'll give you your money back. So how do you beat that deal?
Well, I appreciate it. That sounds great. Could you repeat the name of the guy doing the seminar?
Ernie Gully, Gulley.
Okay. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks very much.
All right. Thanks a
lot.
lot,
Good luck, Brian.
Is it a good idea to pre-register for all the seminars that are keyed in for yourself?
I think it always is. The free seminars are kind of like if the room's full, then that's it, that kind of thing. So for those, you don't have to register, but for the classes, I think it's imperative. Like Annalisa was saying before, the women's class is the one that's filled up. We know we can add more people to that if they want to do that. There's a wait list. But doing that ahead of time means that we've got you and we can see you on the wait list. Oh, there's some more people. Then we can call the guide and say, hey, we got a couple of more people interested. Can we, increase the class? And the guides are really good for that. Pre-registration also helps out because we can print out your packet ahead of time instead of you standing there in line with all the other drop-ins as we go through the whole registration process.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Makes it just more streamlined.
Yeah, a lot easier. I mean, you get a really printed badge that way.
Oh,
nice.
Cool.
All right.
There's a lot of giveaways, too, right? Last year, I won a nice Orvis rod last year.
Really?
And I took it straight to the river, and I caught like 5 trout in 1 hour. It was
right
awesome.
then.
Yeah, it was great.
That's fun. So that's part of the registration.
Yeah, we have a ton of raffle items. We've got raffle buckets going all 3 days, and we've got a ton of stuff. I mean, people have been very generous, so we've got, everything. Saturday night, we've got the auctions for the real high-end stuff. But now there's always things there to win.
Like, what are some of the high-end stuff that you're giving away?
Sage donated a really nice, I'm going to get the name wrong. I hate doing that with a sponsor. It's their latest rod. It's like a $900 rod that they gave us for the event.
Not the one.
It may... Is it the one?
The one.
Is there? I think they actually have one called the one.
The one. They do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then that's the one we got.
Wasn't a coincidence.
Yeah. I thought you were pulling my leg.
No.
That's the one that they got. Hardy Fenwick. We've got all kinds of stuff that's out there for that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. We've even got a 2-for-1 trip to Pescamaya for bone fishing. That we use that on silent auction for things like that. That's a trip that's $3,400 a piece. To go down there and fish. And this is a 2-for-1 that we have on that, so it's a lot of savings.
Wow,
yeah.
How cool. Wow. Well, as you can hear, just lots of great more information coming your way. When we come back, we're going to be taking a lot more of your phone calls. If you want to get through, first time with an open local phone line since darn near the beginning of the show. If you want it, 858-457-1090 or 877-792-1090. When we come back, we got a lot more of your phone calls. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
Buying a boat is a big decision, and you don't want to make a costly mistake with the wrong one. This is Pete Giacalone for Cussler Yachts. I've been in the fishing business my whole life. In fact, there are probably many of you out there that have fished with me. Well, now I've taken my boating knowledge and joined the team at Cussler Yachts. Mike Cussler and the rest of our team are true professionals when it comes to finding you the right boat. Just ask Pete Gray. I helped him make the right decision on his new boat after an extensive search, and we can help you find the boat of your dreams. We specialize in sport fishing boats and are the exclusive dealer for Regulator Marine, the finest center consoles on the market. At Cussler Yachts, we know fishing and we know boats inside and out. We can save you thousands of dollars and get you into the right fishing boat for your needs and budget. Cussler Yachts is located on the waterfront at the beautiful Konakai Resort, and you can check us out on our website at CusslerYachts.com. That's KUSLER Yachts.com. Or give us a call at 1-866-607-5471. Ask for Pete and let me know you heard about it on Let's Talk Hookup.
When it comes to fishing rods for saltwater, there's just one name you need to know: CalStar. Take, for example, the Graphiter series. It's a true graphite and fiberglass composite rod, the finest it's ever been built. And for anglers seeking traditional performance, durability, and quality at an affordable price, the CalStar West Coast series of rods and blanks are the ones for you. Their master craftsmen bring decades of rod building experience to every rod they make. So if you want your fishing rods to be truly state-of-the-art, I always recommend CalStar at fine tackle stores everywhere.
This is Rick Jensen with Sport Fishing Financial. I think most of you get that I'm a fisherman and work with the fishing community, but to understand exactly what Sport Fishing Financial does, ask yourself these 4 questions. First, do you really know how much money you'll need in order to retire comfortably? Next, do you know how much you'll have to save on a regular basis to reach that number? Do you have a process that includes a proven investment strategy and confidence that the money you save will grow? Last, do you have a plan for how to turn your savings into retirement income? If you don't have good answers to these questions, you're not alone, but you should, and I can make sure you do. In addition, if you own a business and currently provide or are planning on providing a retirement savings plan for yourself or your employees, we should really talk. We offer an outstanding variety of creative solutions that are sure to meet your needs.
Some of our listeners may feel overwhelmed. Others may believe they are already doing the best they can. In either case, I bet Rick can help. Set a time to meet with him and start planning for your personal or business investment success. Find Rick on the web at sportfishingfinancial.com or give him a call at 949-481-1807.
Cast Tours is a family-owned and operated travel company that specializes in taking you to great fishing destinations. They take pride in providing the best and most affordable vacation packages available. For over 20 years, Cast Tours has been creating unique sport fishing and vacation trips. Whether it's a fishing trip, a family vacation, or an adventure, they will provide you the service and value you deserve. Call Cast Tours at 800-593-6510 or check casttours.com.
If the fish are biting, I'm on my boat, rain or shine. Of course, I wear my life jacket. It's like wearing a seatbelt. Clip it on, grab my tackle box, and hit the water.
Love California, Boat California, Save California. A message from California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways.
This is Captain Tim Ekstrom from the long-range vessel Royal Star. With my partners Randy Toussaint and Brian Sims, we have set the bar for the long-range fishing experience. A spring 8-day, summer 5-day, or a fly-down, fly-back 11-day winter trip, we deliver the highest quality long-range voyage you will find. From our premium RSW fish storage to our top-of-the-line chefs and crew, Royal Star distinguishes itself from all others. Want to grab a spot on the Royal Star? Check us out at RoyalStarSportFishing.com or call Tracy at 619-224-4764.
Lobster season's here. It's time to gear up with the best in the business, Promar. Based in SoCal, Promar knows lobster and makes everything you need to catch these tasty critters. The Promar guys are hardcore lobster fishermen and have all styles of hoop nets, including the new Ambush XL 36-inch rigid hoop net, the largest allowed by law. Visit Promar on Facebook or on the web at promarnets.com.
XEPRS 1090 AM, Rosarito, Baja California.
The best NFL coverage is right here. San Diego's sports leader, the mighty 1090.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
Great time talking fly fishing with the Southwest Council International Federation of Fly Fishing. Michael Schweit and Elisa talking the big fair coming up on October 14th through the 16th in beautiful Bishop, California. All the information's on their website, how you can get in there, lodging, registration. You get free registration. You register cool. And you get your money back when you tell them you heard us on Let's Talk Hookup this morning, when you get your packet there at the fair. I mean, it's just a great event there in the East and a great venue, too, in the Eastern Sierras. I want to remind you, check out our website, hookup1090.com. Of course, all of our social medias up there, our Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, some new videos on our YouTube channel from Kingfisher Charters in Sitka, Alaska, from Whaler, from Katmai Lodge. And then also, I just posted a picture of Annalisa and Michael and Ricky in the studio here on our Instagram. So check out our Instagram there. Like us or friend us. Is he friend or like? I still can't get that down.
Instagram?
Yeah.
You follow.
You follow on Instagram. You friend on Facebook. Someday I'm going to get that.
That's all good.
But it's all either way. You just push the button and say, "Yeah, I want to follow that."
Come on.
So Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff is on the front page of our website, top right corner. Hookup1090.com. Just click on any of those. Takes you right to all our social media. Also, check out our trips page, too. If you are interested in fly fishing and you want the ultimate fly fishing experience, come on our Katmai Lodge trip next July. It is truly... It'll hook you.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
You want to get
hooked?
If
you've never touched a fly rod in your life, you will catch dozens, if not hundreds, of fish on the fly. And their guides are experts, and we get a pretty substantial discount on this trip. It's not a cheap trip, like anything in Alaska, but this, for a remote Alaska fishing destination, is about as good as it gets from a cost-wise and just an experience-wise. So check that out. It's all on our trip page, hookup1090.com, along with our 3 opportunities next year to go to Alaska with us. Kingfisher Charters trip, which is filling up very, very rapidly.
Super fast, yeah.
Always very popular, June time frame. Our Whalers Cove Lodge, which is unbelievably popular now in August, and then, of course, that Katmai Lodge trip in July. All of those, along with the new posted journeyman trips that we are doing in January and March, are all up on our website, hookup1090.com.
All right, well, the phones are definitely packed up. There's literally only one line open if you want to get through. That's toll-free, 877-792-1090. That's your shot. Let's jump back into the phones and talk to Mike. Called us from El Cajon. Mike, good morning. Thanks for hanging in there with us.
Good morning, guys. Thank you for taking my call. I got just a couple questions for the guests. One, I'm trying. I heard about the reels where you got the line that sinks and then some that float. And I'm trying to find out what application would you use, the one that sinks or the one that floats? And then I also wanted to get their opinion on the Aspen reels, and then I seen Aspen, and I got one here, a real old one, but I'm trying to find one of the clubs that would it's a real old one. It's a Shakespeare Silent True Art Automatic, and it's got like a button on it what you press and whatnot. I'm thinking this is old. It probably belongs in
like the Smithsonian Institute, maybe.
Possibly. or the Fly Fishing Museum.
Yeah. Michael?
Well, it's going backwards from your question. Aspen Reels is down here in San Marcos. Great company. I think like a lot of other companies, they do machining, and somebody in the company, I think their owner was passionate about fly fishing, and he's like, I can make a reel. And they make really good reels. In fact, Aspen's going to be at the Fly Fishing Fair. They're big supporters. Those are really good reels for anywhere from trout to saltwater.
Really?
For things like that. Yeah, I love their reels, and they're beautiful. The lines are kind of more of an issue that, sinking lines, but they have like a type 1 to type 6. 6 sinks faster, 1 sinks slower. So if you're in a slow-moving river and you want to fish down a little bit deeper, you could fish, depending on how deep the river is. So a lot of it they're specific to the application. If we're steelhead fishing, we may be, and you're fishing on the Rogue, and the water's flowing at 2,000 CFS, and it's, 10 feet deep, and we're trying to get steelhead, you're going to use really heavy lines. Crowley, you can get by with like type 2, type 3s because you're not trying to get down, and it's still water. So a lot of it has to do with the current. It's something that I think it's no different than saltwater, that, you guys kind of have a sense, you anchor up and you kind of look at the current going by the boat. You go, okay, I need a half ounce. I need a 1 ounce. I don't think it's any different than that. But as you fly fish, you're kind of like, okay, I'm not getting down to the bottom. I'm not quite ticking down there. I need to, jump up to another line. And once you know where you're going fishing, it's pretty easy to do.
Indeed. Hey, Michael, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. I might mention Rio has a great website.
Yeah.
Good line manufacturer.
For their lines, yes.
For their lines. And you can learn a lot about the different types of lines and what their applications are and such like that.
Correct.
Rio.com.
Yeah.
And they make very, very good fly lines. Yeah.
I like. All right, let's jump right back into the phones. This time we're going to talk to Sam. He's calling us from Irvine. Hey, Sam, welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Morning, Sam.
Good morning. Yeah, that other gentleman talked about reels, and I have a couple rods. I have like a 6.5 foot glass rod, and then an Orvis rod that's about 8 footer, and there's 6 and a 7 weight. And I just have one reel, and I was wondering what a good moderate priced reel, because I only have one for both rods, would be for that style of rod.
What kind of fishing do you want to do?
Oh, yeah, I try surf fishing every once in a while with them, and, the trout fishing with them as well, but, I'll end up with a casting bubble a lot of times. I'm not all that proficient, but I give it a shot every time I go out there.
Yeah, for that kind of fishing, I mean, for under $100, you're going to have a ton of choices as to things you need, because you're not really trying to worry about a drag. You're, more of a consistent reel, something that feels good in your hand. For fly fishing, reels are line holding devices for the most part. Until you get into steelhead fish that are going to start ripping line off, then you're going to get concerned more about the drag.
Yeah, and you go to a really good fly shop.
Any of the fly shops will clue you in on all this stuff.
Yeah, and one thing I might mention, you said Reddington's going to be there.
Yeah,
and Reddington makes some great fly reels for a reasonable price.
Very, very reasonable.
I mean, less than $100.
Yeah, definitely.
Very.
I'm surprised.
Very nice.
And very nice reels. Adamsville too. They have their own line of stuff. I mean, they're all really, really good things. That's what's really fun about the shows, is going there and being able to handle all these things.
Yeah, and you actually can use them on the water.
Yes,
they'll
correct.
Take them out.
Yeah.
Go try it.
Yep.
Yeah. Very good, Sam. Thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. The fair just sounds like a great education. And I want to mention that Southwest Council, you get paid very big bucks, both of you, for doing all this work. Getting there, coming down all the way from the San Fernando Valley, and doing all the work that you do,
it's
Michael
all volunteer.
And Elisa. All your stuff is volunteer. You do it for the passion of fishing, right?
Yeah, we do it. We're trying to get people into the sport and show them that it's not complicated or expensive, and that it's just fun.
Yeah, and it's really, I think the outreach that the Southwest Council is, in just being involved with Let's Talk Hookup and trying to get our listeners, which are primary saltwater people, kind of hooked on another aspect of catching fish. I got to tip my hat to you.
Yeah,
guys,
no doubt.
It's really a nice effort, and I certainly hope that it progresses and our listeners want to try this, because if you do, I think you like it.
Yeah, I think so.
They'll totally enjoy it. Yeah.
And by going to the fair, not only are you going to a beautiful place in the beautiful time of the year, but you'll kind of meet a lot of great people involved in the thing, and it's cheap to go there.
Right.
I mean, basically, you're going for free on Let's Talk Hookup if you mention it at registration after you register. But, $150 a night to stay in a beautiful place, and you're going to be fishing these rivers that basically you're fishing for free.
Sounds so good.
Yeah, I mean...
And one thing to keep in mind, because a lot of the saltwater, some of the guys do freshwater fish, some don't. But, it's like, I'm going to go all that way for the fair. We have a lot of classes and a lot of things to do for the non-angler. So if you're coming up there with a companion, spouse, whatever, there's other things to do in the area. There's great places to eat. It makes it for a really very nice weekend.
Yep.
And if you're totally into saltwater fishing and you want to pick up fly fishing, you still have to learn how to cast.
Yes.
And so come up there. It's kind of a great place that you get all these different casting classes.
Wide open.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about tangling trees or anything.
Yeah.
And you have to learn that cast. And then you come down here and you get on your boat or get on a private boat or whatever, and then you make those casts for those big fish.
Indeed. Great time. Let's go ahead and try and sneak in some more calls.
You got it. How about we talk to Rick, who's calling us from Shelter Island this morning. Hey, Rick, welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Morning, Rick.
Good morning, gentlemen. Thanks for taking my call. What I was wondering was, when you guys were talking about the Holy Grail of surf fishing, you didn't mention the spot fin croaker. You mentioned corvina, and you mentioned...
sure. Yeah, the spot fin.
For me, spot fin are kind of like, they just showed up. Oh, wait, they're gone.
They're really good eating, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, they definitely are. But the corvina are something I think that we go after them because it's a visual fish. You know when they're on the beach. And it's not blind fishing for that. It's like, there he is. Oh, wait, he's flipping me off as he's leaving. But they're there. So that's why I think that's more for the surf.
Yeah. And they'll eat a fly.
And they'll eat a fly.
All of them will. Yeah.
And that's for lake fishing and stuff. Isn't that kind of like saltwater fishing only in miniature? You do everything like small?
on a lake?
On a lake or on a river. If trout fishing, you can.
Same thing.
I don't think a corvina is going to eat a number 22 fly.
No, they typically won't.
I just don't think.
And typically the kind of the joke about surf fishing is you can use any fly you want as long as it's orange.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It's like, there's a lot of different patterns out there. There's actually some guys that have been using a hot pink, what's called a merkin, which looks like a crab, but there's no crabs out there that are hot pink, but they get a corvina on them, so I don't know.
In the San Diego Bay, you can catch bonefish on the fly. I've done it.
Yeah,
and they eat it.
Yeah.
And they like that red, kind of red and black with a little bit of white in it. Clouser minnow, they eat that.
They eat that. I know. Yeah.
I've taken my float tube around the
bay.
The bay and
caught a lot of spotties.
Yeah,
sure.
It's a lot of fun.
Catch like leopard sharks in the back. And
I haven't caught one of those.
No,
yet.
Yeah.
She's only been fly fishing for like 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah. You like float tubing?
I do. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a great way to fly fish.
Yeah.
Whether you're on the bay or on the river or on the lake or whatever.
Yeah, that's
right.
Well,
I guess you can't really do it on a river too much on a flight.
You can on a slow-moving river.
A slow-moving river.
On fast-moving rivers, that's called a fatality.
Yeah, indeed. For sure. All right. Hey, let's try and sneak in one more. Rick in Simi Valley from your neck of the woods there, Michael. Yeah. Good morning. You have about 30 seconds.
Okay, this is Rick. Guys, just want to ditto Kenny and the Hawaiian Gardens. If you really want to learn to fly fish, start out on one of the harbors and go for those bonita. They're real good smoked. The other thing real quick is overnighted at Channel Islands, got a couple of nice yellows. Woke up in the middle of the night and there's 18 light boats out there. Look like Christmas.
I guess the squid are around, huh?
And we all know that bycatch of yellowfin or yellowtail is okay. But I thought, that's my blue jay, I thought that that was illegal. They had to stay about 3 miles offshore. But the fishing the next day was nothing. I mean, there was 50 boats out there and nobody caught anything. They came in and rolled everything up. Is that legal?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know where. Yeah,
offshore.
Yeah, the squid boat can fish pretty much anywhere they want, really. And, yeah, they really mess things up. I've been there, done that. You come in, if it's good sea bass fishing or yellow fishing, and they come in and drag their nets around, and it really messes things up. But
we do. It's part of our deal, yeah.
Yeah, they can do it. Hey, thanks a lot for the call this morning.
Hey, when we come back, we're going to find out what Lucky Guy's got himself all styled out with brand new AFTCO gear, as well as a 3/4-day trip on the San Diego. More Let's Talk Hookup coming your way on the Mighty 1090.
Get it all at Dana Landing in Mission Bay. It's truly the one-stop shop for a great day on the water. Looking for a fishing charter? Dana Landing had you covered with several boats, including the new Blackjack, perfect for 2 to 4 anglers, and the Impulse that will carry up to 6 anglers in comfort and style. Dana Landing has a huge tackle shop with everything you need to go fish bay bass, tuna, or marlin, plus expert anglers on staff to help. They even have Mexican and California fishing licenses and reel repair. The deli at Dana Landing is a local's favorite with all the food, ice, and beverages you need. When it comes to freshwater tackle, East County Bait and Tackle is the spot for a great day on the lake. The ultimate in rods and reels, the latest freshwater lures, and live bait. ECBT has a staff second to none when it comes to sharing their passion for fishing. ECBT is at the end of the 67 freeway on Mapleview in Lakeside, and Dana Landing is right across from SeaWorld next to the Dana Launch Ramp in Mission Bay. Check DanaLanding.com for more details.
This is Greg Stotesbury from AFTCO. For more than 55 years, the American Fishing Tackle Company has been recognized as the premier manufacturer of precision-built offshore fishing tackle. AFTCO continues this tradition today with an innovative technical fishing clothing line designed and built for ultimate performance on the water. From our next-generation fishing shorts like the Tactical Camo or Stealth Shorts to our AFT Block sun protection shirts like the Fish Ninja and Samurai Sun Hoodie, the entire AFTCO clothing lineup is purpose-built with the latest AFTEC fabrics and designed with functional features to deliver top performance for the demanding angler. Visit www.afco.com to find a dealer near you.
It's time to get outside on the east side and celebrate fall colors, arts, culture, and recreation in the Eastern Sierra. From now until the first snow, there are a variety of activities that capture the essence of autumn. In addition to enjoying fall color viewing, the season hosts fishing derbies and biking events to theater performances, a kite festival, and art festivals. Check out the Outside on the East Side details on the Fall Colors page at visitmammoth.com. That's visitmammoth.com.
If you've heard the advice Scott Sherman from Fifth Avenue Insurance has given anglers over the past couple of years, you know there is much more to your boat insurance than just a low rate. Well, Fifth Avenue Insurance can not only find you the lowest rates on your boat insurance, they also make sure the coverage you get meets all your needs. What if you had an accident with the boat and found out you didn't have proper coverage? Well, that just won't happen when you insure with Fifth Avenue Insurance. Call them for advice on your current boat policy or any of your insurance needs. Fifth Avenue Insurance, 619-640-3130, or check the number 5 THAVEINS.com.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Very busy phone, and apologize to all the people that did make it on the air. Lots of fly fishing interest today. That was a lot of fun. Very cool.
Great to see.
No doubt. Well, hey, the big winner of that AFTCO Performance Package and the 3/4-day trip on the San Diego out of C4 Sport Fishing going to Scott in Huntington Beach. Scott, congratulations. You're going to have such a good time fishing with Captain Ryan Boston and the boys in San Diego and hooked up in all your new AFTCO gear.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Annalisa, great time here. Thank you for coming in and sharing the women's perspective on fly fishing.
No, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
And you can meet Annalisa up at the fair, right? You'll be there?
I will be there greeting everyone.
Yeah, fantastic. And, of course, Michael?
Yeah, I'll be there.
You'll be there.
And
why don't you give us details one more time on the fair?
So October 14th through the 16th.
You can come one day or all day?
Yeah, all day, whatever you want to do. We're open from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock Friday and Saturday, and Sunday is from 9 to 3. And we've got, like I said, about 30 vendors there, classes out the wazoo.
Like 112.
Yeah, constant classes going on, some free, some you pay for, and especially, like I say, the introductory. That's the biggest thing, is that you can just show up there with your fishing license, and we're going to take you out and teach you how to fly fish.
No pre-registration necessary at all?
You can walk any of the classes. You can walk up if there's room. I mean, pre-registration is always easy, but yeah, if you happen to say, "Hey, I'm going up there," we're gonna typically in the introductory classes, there's some room to get you into that.
Yeah,
class.
Okay. So pre-register, and then when you pay your fees, you walk up, you get your registration fee returned to you if you tell them you heard you guys today on Let's Talk.
Exactly.
Yeah, very cool. So one more time, how do we get it on the website?
SWCIFFF.org. Click on the fair. That'll take you right there.
Okay.
And
that sounds so Southwest Council International Federation of Fly Fishers.
Correct.
Yeah. Or you can link that on the Let's Talk Hookup related.
You've got the link there. Yeah. Your link works fine. We've checked it. It works all real good.
Thank you, guys. Great time for having you here.
Thank you.
Great time this weekend. We'll be back. Well, Ricky will be back. I'll be down at Palmas de Cortez at our fall tournament there. And we have Captain Art Taylor from The Searcher next Saturday, and then next Sunday with Ricky, a special mystery guest. Thanks for listening today. We'll see you next week right back here on the Mighty 1090.